few weeks back, if you would have told me that I was going to suggest something from Season of Discovery for Mists of Pandaria Classic, I would have called you mad. But I've been spending a little bit of time on Season of Discovery recently on Live in Flame EU, which is a PvP server, and the fact it's a PvP server is incredibly important to what I think at the moment. The PvP servers on Season of Discovery have got forced faction balance, where currently it's sat at 51% Alliance and 49% Horde. The PvE servers are not balanced at all, where you've got a couple that are 72% or nearly 73% Alliance, with less than 30% Horde, which is absolutely fine. But the PvP servers having forced faction balance is actually something I would love to see in Mists of Pandaria. Because of the way Classic has evolved, where we've just got these mega servers where they're actually PvP servers, but they're like 99% of one faction. All the crazy stuff that happens in the open world around world bosses or farming rares or anything like that at all just doesn't happen. And while there was never exactly perfect server balance back in original World of Warcraft, you did at least see the opposite faction pretty frequently. I think this system has actually worked out incredibly well in Season of Discovery, and I would absolutely love to see it in Mists of Pandaria, where it's only PvP servers specifically that have forced faction balance. And it hasn't got to be as close as 51-49. Even as high as 60% for one faction before it locks is absolutely fine. But we're missing out on a lot of fun content. People who actually enjoy PvP and love world PvP, there's pretty much nowhere you can actually get it. I actually think there's one server that I know of that is at least reasonably balanced, is Grobulus US, which is 46% Alliance and 53% Horde, which that's absolutely fine. It is an RP PvP server, but out of all of the PvP servers that exist, Grobulus will be the only one that has got any form of contest out in the world between the factions. And like I say, I didn't realise how much I missed it until I was on Season of Discovery recently. It can be extremely irritating, don't get me wrong, to get killed out in the open world when all you're trying to do is make it to a raid or go and farm some coins for your bonus rolls or something like that. But then if you don't want that conflict, then you play on PvE servers, where the PvE servers can be fully one-sided. All of the big PvE guilds racing for world first and everything can all be piled on there, and people who actually want to be on PvP servers specifically because they are PvP should have the option of at least one balanced PvP server that they can roll on. Even leveling is far more interesting on PvP servers when you can actually stomp on people in full heirloom gear along the way. And where Strangleform Vale used to be one of my favourite zones to level in, because it normally did turn from trying to level fast into absolute carnage, all of that's just completely lost. So I suppose all I'm trying to say is server consolidations from my perspective are an absolute must, and I think having them around the time the pre-patch comes in would be absolutely perfect. I think they should allow transfers off of every PvP realm to a PvE realm, so those people that are playing on PvP realms just because they're mega servers get the option to free transfer with their entire guild and whoever else, and all of the people that just want a mega server and they're not actually bothered about the world PvP aspect can just pile onto a PvE server. Obviously, smashing together a couple of PvP servers where you've got completely one-sided Alliance servers and one-side Horde servers would be a very easy solution, and then as people move off both sides to PvE servers because they realised, actually, I don't want a PvP server, even though it's what I picked, they'll all slowly move to PvE servers, while the people that want PvP will be able to move to the PvP servers, and I almost think that actually it shouldn't just be PvP to PvE that get the option of free transfer. I think they should do realm consolidations in the pre-patch and everybody has one free transfer per character. So if you're on PvP but you want PvE, you can go. If you're on PvE but you love the thought of actually being able to play on PvP servers, you can go there. But it's a one-time thing. I think with the amount of outdoor content there is in Mists of Pandaria, from world bosses to rare farming to pet battles to gathering, there is so much reason to be out in the open world, or even camping rares, as in the bind on account rares that you can loot. There's so much reason to be in the open world that on a PvP server, running around in PvP gear, it could be incredibly fun. Now, I know there'll be a lot of you that are not bothered about this at all, and you're just like, oh, come on, like, that's so 2004, no one cares about World PvP anymore. But trust me, there is a lot of love for World PvP, and on Season of Discovery specifically, it kind of opened my eyes to it again. I think it's actually like a dying system or a dying way of enjoying and playing the game, where it does actually feel pretty dangerous to be out doing things on your own, even, you know, from low level all the way up to max level. And I personally would love to see it back again. And if that requires PvP servers having forced faction balance, then Blizzard, I think you should do it. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Sorry, it was just a little bit of a rant today, but It really is kind of a part of the game that I'm really missing, and a part of the game that you do get on private servers. On private servers, because you get things like racial shift, where it doesn't matter what faction you go, people are only picking the faction based on aesthetics because they can get the racials from a different opposing race. So, for example, if you was a Night Elf Druid, you could get the troll racials as a Night Elf Druid. So this just means the faction balance is normally actually pretty good, because you're not just going all horde for racials. If Blizzard could do something about that as well, that'd be great. But again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.